The government will adopt a new two-stage fiscal strategy that emphasises jobs and growth. I repeat, the government will put in place a new two-stage fiscal strategy that emphasises jobs and growth. This is key to stabilising and then reducing our debt to GDP ratio. Of course, as our circumstances have changed, our fiscal strategy must also change. Our previous fiscal strategy has served us well. It helped us to contain spending growth and return the budget to balance without increasing taxes and without cutting services. It was designed to guide a steady and sustained fiscal consolidation with increasing surpluses against the backdrop of a steadily growing economy and low unemployment. Our previous fiscal strategy that brought our budget back to balance was based on three key components. The first was our commitment to investing in a stronger economy to boost productivity and economic and workplace participation. The second, our commitment to strong fiscal discipline and containing the size of the government, which comes from controlling growth in spending and maintaining the tax to GDP ratio below 23.9%. And the third, our commitment to achieving budget surpluses on average over the course of the economic cycle, building to surpluses of at least 1% of GDP when economic circumstances permit, and reducing debt to build resilience and fiscal flexibility. Under the previous strategy, our plan was to deliver budget surpluses of sufficient size to significantly reduce gross debt and eliminate net debt by the end of the medium term. Unfortunately, in the face of this large economic shock, this is no longer the prudent or appropriate course of action. It would now be damaging to the economy and unrealistic to target surpluses over the forward estimates, given what this would require us to do in terms of significant increases in taxes and large cuts to essential services. This would risk undermining the economic recovery we need to bring hundreds of thousands more Australians back to work and to underpin a stronger medium-term fiscal position. It is getting Australians back to work and having profitable businesses hiring and investing that offers the greatest leverage in repairing the budget. So in the budget, in less than 2 weeks' time, we will be recalibrating our fiscal strategy to match the circumstances we now find ourselves in. The revised fiscal strategy blends important elements of our former strategy with the features that reflect the current economic situation. It is designed to operate in two distinct phases. The first phase of our revised fiscal strategy is focused sharply on boosting business and consumer confidence and promoting jobs and growth throughout the economy. Our first priority must be a secure, strong and sustained economic recovery and to drive the unemployment rate down as fast as possible. The first phase of our new fiscal strategy does this in three key ways. First, we will continue to allow the automatic stabilisers to work freely to support the economy. Second, we will continue to provide temporary, proportionate and targeted fiscal support, including through tax measures to leverage private sector jobs and investment. And third, we will continue to push ahead with structural reforms that position the economy for the jobs of the future and which improve the ease of doing business. The first phase of our strategy will remain in place until unemployment is on a clear path back to pre-crisis levels. We will review progress on the recovery in each budget update, but I expect phase 1 to remain in place until the unemployment rate is comfortably back under 6%. Once we are confident that the recovery has taken hold, we will move to phase 2 of our revised fiscal strategy, which is focused on restoring our fiscal position. This will also consist of 3 elements. First, we will maintain our central focus on jobs and growth, combined with structural reforms that increase our economy's potential. Second, there will be a deliberate shift from providing temporary and targeted support for the economy to stabilising gross and net debt as a share of the economy. Our 23.9% cap on the tax to GDP ratio will be retained. And third, we will start the hard work of rebuilding our fiscal buffers so that we can be prepared for the next economic shock. We have a big mountain to climb, but this is an achievable goal. And it does not require us to increase taxes or to cut essential services. Such actions would slow the speed of the recovery. And with historically low interest rates, it's not necessary to run budget surpluses to stabilise and reduce debt as a share of GDP, provided that the economy is growing steadily. And even though debt will be at much higher levels than what we are accustomed to, it remains sustainable and it will be put back on a steady path of reduction. Our peak debt to GDP ratio will still be significantly lower than most comparable countries. And low interest rates make our debt servicing task easier. Our revised fiscal strategy is consistent with our core values. These have not changed. It will maintain our emphasis on fiscal discipline, lower taxes, containing the size of government, and investing in a stronger economy. But as we should, we will place greater emphasis on supporting the economic recovery in the near term and on economic reforms that lift potential growth in the medium term. Only through repairing the economy can we repair the budget. And that is why the government's plan for a stronger Australian economy sits at the heart of the revised fiscal strategy.